What's up, guys? Welcome back to the UFC arena. We have a big card coming up, UFC 266, and of course we need to talk about it. So in this video I'm going to talk about two fights that are ending off the prelims. We have Dan Hooker versus Nasrat Haqparast, and we have Marlon Moraes versus Dvalishvili. Those are some names. But Dan Hooker versus Haqparast, we don't even know if that fight is going to happen, but the last thing I heard was that they're both having visa issues. They're both struggling to get into the country. If Dan Hooker does make it, he's going to have to cut weight in one day. Cutting weight is already hard. Imagine having to just jump straight off a flight and cut weight. His weight cut will probably have to start on the plane. That's crazy. Hopefully everything runs smoothly for that fight and that fight does take place, because that has potential to be fight of the night. Dan Hooker and Kelvin Gastelum Jr. That's Nasrat. He looks just like Kelvin Gastelum. It's actually ridiculous. They must be related in some way. But they both throw hands. Haqparast has some sweet boxing. Dan Hooker has some excellent Muay Thai. And I think when these two clash, it will be something special. Who am I going to go with though? This is a tough one, because Dan Hooker also has a very good submission game. If he gets your neck, they don't call him the hangman for nothing, right? They call him the hangman because he will choke you, right? So Dan has a good all-round game. Haqparast, honestly, I don't know that much about him. I've seen him fight a few times, and the fights that I've seen him in, he's always been predominantly a striker. So I don't know how good his grappling game is. So from what I know, I would assume Dan Hooker has a better grappling game or more polished grappling game. What we also know from Dan Hooker is that he has excellent knees, excellent elbows, excellent distance management. If you look at Dan Hooker in his fight versus Al Iaquinta, you would see a very good example of distance management. That fight was not even close. Dan Hooker just had his way with Iaquinta. Haqparast, he had some good fights and then he had some losses. He had a loss to Drew Dober. He got knocked out, but he rebounded from those losses. He has 2 decision wins now, and if he's able to beat Dan Hooker, he'll be on a 3-fight win streak. So my prediction for this fight, I'm going to go with Dan Hooker, and I'm going to say Dan Hooker is going to finish Nasrat Haqparast. I don't know how, but I think that the variety of strikes that Dan has, and I think that Dan is out to prove something because he lost his last fight. I think he's out to prove that, he's still a number 1 contender. He lost to Poirier and he lost to Chandler, so he needs a win, and I think he's going to get it. This is a tough fight to call though. I would say 55% Dan Hooker, 45% Nasrat Haqparast. Okay, next up we have Marlon Moraes versus Dvalishvili. This is an interesting fight. Things have been kind of rough for Moraes these days, actually. At one point, he was on a 4-fight win streak in the UFC with finishes over Aljamain Sterling, Jimmy Rivera, Rafael Assunção. Those are big names in the bantamweight division, and he finished all of them 3 in a row. Then he bounced up Henry Cejudo. We all know what happened in that fight. Cejudo, with the comeback of the ages, he was able to pressure Moraes and finish him. Moraes then won against Jose Aldo in a very close fight. A lot of people say Jose Aldo won, but I disagree. I think Moraes won that fight. Even though he was going backwards, he did what he needed to do to win the fight. It was a close fight though. Then, boom, he gets finished by Corey Sandhagen, comes back, boom, gets finished by Rob Font, and things are looking kind of rough. And now they have him up against a tough wrestler, Dvalishvili. Now the thing is, the people who have beaten Marlon Moraes, for the most part, have outstriked him. Henry Cejudo outstriked him, Corey Sandhagen outstriked him, Rob Font outstriked him. Merab would not outstrike Moraes, but we all know that Merab is a relentless wrestler. He will take you down, you get up, he takes you down, you get up, he takes you down, you get up. If you get up 99 times, Merab will try to take you down 100 times. He will never stop, and he's a machine. He has crazy cardio, and Moraes gets tired. So it's a 3-round fight, which is to Moraes. It's a 3-round fight, which is to Moraes' benefit, because if it was 5 rounds, I'd definitely be picking Merab. But as far as I'm concerned, this fight could go one of 2 ways. Either Moraes catches Merab with a beautiful strike in one of the first or second round and finishes the fight, or Merab is able to tire out, grind, and hold down Moraes to get a decision. I don't think Merab is going to finish Moraes, so I think that this is either going to be a decision for Merab or a finish for Moraes. And I'm kind of leaning towards Merab. I just kind of feel like it's his time to break through to that next level of the division, and I think that his wrestling would be good enough to get Morares down eventually and to do enough to win the fight. So my official prediction, same odds as the last fight actually. I'm going to go with a 55% chance of Merab winning and a 45% chance of Moraes winning. So those are my predictions for these two fights. I'll see you all in the next video.